Hello, fellow Chopperoos. The Big Chopperoo and Safety Dan here.
Hey.
And today's episode, we're going to show you how to make this reproduction Civil War lantern. This lantern was taken from plans from an authentic Civil War one, and it dates back to the early 1800s. Now, I did change a few little things on the construction just to make it easier to build, but overall, it's pretty much the same. Now let's take a look at some of the features of the lantern. So our lantern is a wooden structure with 4 panes of glass going all the way around it. We also have our handle and this heat shield. The heat shield is important because if you were to carry this by the handle, the heat from the flame would actually burn your hand. So this helps deflect that. The heat shield also pivots out of the way. This is important when we want to light the candle. Pull up on the dowel rod, and now we are allowed access to lighting the wick. And of course, if the candle burns down too low, replacing the candle is as simple as removing this pane of glass and switching out the candle. Now this lantern looks slightly different than the one you're going to see in the video, but all the steps to build it are exactly the same. Now, of course, before we use any power equipment, let's take a tip from Safety Dan.
If you're in the shop, make sure you wear your hearing protection and your safety glasses.
Chad begins by ripping down 3/4 inch strips of white oak. Measuring down 1/4 inch on 2 of the edges, he makes a mark for a kerf to be cut out. Using the same measurement, he raises the blade 1/4 inch. Using a push stick, he carefully cuts 2 slots lengthwise in the 3/4 inch stock. Using a table saw sled and a stop block, he can make multiple pieces, all the same length. Using measurements from the plans, Chad drills countersink and clearance holes in the top and bottom pieces. For a decorative edge, Chad is going to chamfer the top and bottom pieces. This could be done with a router, but he's going to use a block plane instead. Start with the end grain, then do the edge grain. This will help eliminate tear out. It's important that the post gets positioned exactly on the top and bottom pieces. Lining up the post to the bottom plate, use an awl to mark where a pre-drill hole needs to go on the post. Do this for each post and label them to keep them in order. Pre-drill with a bit slightly smaller than the threads of the screw. With a little glue, screw each post into place on the bottom plate. Next, the candle base must be made. Here's a little trick. Use scrap wood and place them catty-corner to each post and mark it with a pencil. This can be used as a layout for the base. Make sure to position it past the corner notch. Now, cut out the corner notches on the bandsaw. Then test fit inside the lantern. The candle base is too wide and has to clear where the glass will fit. So, mark where the slot on the post is and cut it out on the bandsaw. Place the candle base in the lantern and attach the top. Slide the candle base up to the top plate and hold in place with a clamp. Drill a pilot hole in the middle and a 3/8 inch hole for the candle rod. Make sure you drill through the top plate and into the candle base. Remove the top plate and drill a 1 3/8 inch hole in the top. With the top plate still on the bench, drill a series of 1/4 inch holes to form the slot for the sliding glass. Drill a 7/8 countersink hole on the candle base. Tap a small nail through the bottom of the candle base and glue in the 3/8 inch dowel rod. Right now is a good time to steam and finish the lantern before final assembly. Assemble the lantern and check the operation of all the parts. Then glue in the dowel pins on top to cover the screws. To make the heat shield, Chad is using a brass push plate from a door. Using tin snips, he rounds one end and smooths it out with a file. putting it in the vise, he uses a rubber mallet and makes a 90-degree bend. Now the heat shield needs a curve. So, using the leg of his shop stool, he bends it to a gentle curve.
Ooh.
When mounting it, place a screw at one corner of the heat shield so it can pivot out of the way of the candle opening. The handle is nothing more than a coat hanger, bent to fit and attached with some screws. Now go ahead and try out your Civil War style lantern.
Well, there you go. Now you too can make your own Civil War style lantern.
Chad, you just put a candle in a wooden box. Isn't that kind of dangerous?
Well, yeah, it is, and you should always use caution. Never leave this alone when that flame is lit. But, you know, that is how they did it back then.
Well, how bright does it get?
You know, that's a good idea. Let me go turn off the lights and we'll see. Well, that's about it.
Well, yeah, I'll just stick with my lighter.
Well, there's one more thing that I gotta do.
Chad, I think it's time for you to dance.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, if you're in the shop,